Bends, a guitar technique that 99% of the guitar players use. Yeah, probably you have like 1% or less that don't use this technique, but most people you use, most guitar players you'll be using this technique. And if you're a beginner and you want to learn this technique, today I'll show you how to make it and some types of bends that you can use when you're playing. Hey guys, I'm Everton Zaquini and I love the bend technique and to explore the different ways we can use this technique. If you're a beginner, want to learn this technique, I will teach you step by step how to make it, how you can apply it. And if you like video lessons about guitar, subscribe to my channel and ring the bell for you to get the lessons that I'm posting every week. So let's start this lesson. So the first thing about making bend is the position of your hand. This is going to be really important and this will help you to make it easier to bend the string. So let's practice these bends on string 2, fret 10. We have here the note A. Now the position of your hand is like you're holding a can or holding something with the hand. I will put my thumb a little bit up on the neck and I will support with this little part here of my finger. So this part will support at the bottom of the neck here. So if I'm gonna do the bend on fret 10, around fret 7 and 8, I will have support right between the finger and the palm, supporting the hand and the thumb up. And you give some space at the back. Here the back, I have a little bit of space. I'm not touching the palm, just beginning part of the finger here, the thumb. So I have my finger supporting here and my thumb up. That's the position that we're going to use to bend the string. The bend with finger 3, we're going to help finger 3 with finger 2. We're going to use finger 1, you don't need to use. Actually, I use my finger 1 to mute the upper strings here. So you use finger 2 and 3 to bend. Now, the movement that you're going to do, you're going to use a little bit of your wrist and your finger together to bend up the string. So you're going to do this movement. I will just twist a little bit my wrist with my finger. I do this movement with my hand, wrist, and finger. Here my hand. Here my hand moving. Now, before we start to play bends, let's practice a little bit. One mistake that is very common, people just try to use just the finger. Some people do bend like this, but when you do only with the finger, you do a lot of effort with your finger 3 and it will be very difficult. Sometimes people just try to use one finger, which is really hard to bend up. You don't have support for your hand. That's one common mistake. Another mistake is to have the thumb 2 in the middle. Try to bend here. Some people also do like this, but it's not that common. Usually people you do the bend using the support. So what you need to do is to use a little bit of everything. Wrist, a little bit of the hand, a little bit of the fingers 2 and 3 to bend up the string. Let's practice just the movement. Practice bending the string without playing, just for you to get used with the movement. Now let's practice picking the string. Pick string 2 and do the bend. One more time. Pick the string and bend. Start practicing like this. Pick and bend. Pick and bend. After you practice this a while, what you need to do is to be really careful here when you pick the string and when you bend. It's very common, people when they're starting to learn bends, they do pick and bend at the same time. Actually, we need to pick and bend. It's a very fast movement to pick and bend. What happens if you don't do this? If you do at the same time, bend up the string and pick, you do this movement with the string and you can break your string. That's when a lot of people break their strings playing. They will do the bend and picking at the same time and you do this movement and it breaks. So what we need to do, you just pick and bend. One thing that is really important for you to learn when playing guitar is to start understand that your hand will be moving all the time. So for some techniques, your hand will need to be very straight. For other techniques, you need this support. So bends, vibrato is kind of the same position. When you're doing some hammer on and pull off, the hand is straight will be easier. So what happened here, if I do hammer on and bend, I will do the position for hammer on, then I will move to the position of the bend. And come back, position straight and bend, position of the hand. Now let's see the type of bends that we have. First, bends that we're going to do bending up. We need to get the bends in tune. This is also another thing that is really important to have. Sometimes people just bend the string up, but they don't pay attention on the tuning. So we need to get right on the spot the bend. It needs to be precise. As we're playing here on fret 10, what I'm going to do, I will do bends of half step, full step, and 1.5 steps. I will show you a good exercise for you to start to get your bends in tune. Let's start practicing bends of half step. So we have here fret 10 and just a little bit. So you do a bend just a little bit. So the goal here is to get the next note on the next fret. So that's what we need to listen on the bend. That's your practice for bends of half step. Bends of full step. So now we need to get 2 frets above. So I have fret 10, the note B on fret 12. Half step, full step. Now 1.5 steps. Now you need to bend up a little bit more and you need to reach the note on fret 13. Half step bend, full step bend, 1.5 step bend. Here's the tip for you to practice. So before you do the bend, listen to the notes that you want to reach with the bend. If it's a half step, fret 10 for example, so reach the note on fret 11, 1 fret above. If it's a full step bend, now 2 frets. If it's 1.5 step bend, 3 frets. Let's see 2 other types of bends. Now bend and release, you go up and down. So you need to keep pressing when you do the movement of bending, doing up and down. And the bend release, which we do the bend first, we don't play, and then we play and release. So it's the opposite. We start with the string bended. Bending up, bend release, and release bend. Now, the other type that you can do bends is with the other fingers. Once you master the bends with finger 3, now you can use with the other fingers, for example, finger 1. I really like to do bends with finger 1. Now, instead of do the bend on fret 10, I will do on fret 8. So you do a bend with finger 3, fret 10, and finger 1. Or I will start with finger 1. So that's another type of bends that you can use with other fingers as well. But first, practice with finger 3, try to get it right on the spot. That's the most important thing now when you're practicing bend, get the right note. And then we start to apply the same idea with different plays, different fingers, and explore the types of bend that you can use. Now at the end, I will play a backing track and do lots of types of bends for you to see I'm using these bends. If you like this video, remember to hit the like and share with your friends. And let me know if you have any suggestions. Put in the comments suggestions or other topics or techniques that you are struggling with that I can do some lessons for you. Have fun practicing and let's play guitar. Thanks for watching. See you next time.